All right guys, welcome back to the channel. It's been a couple weeks since we released a video and I do apologize for that, but we're having a hard time finding shops. If you're a shop owner, if you have equipment, if you have something you want to show off that, you know, relates to our channel, hit us up. We'd love to come show off your stuff as well. We are at Industrial Injection. I've been dreaming about this video for quite some time. If you've been living under a rock and you don't know who Industrial Injection is, go check them out because they build quite a lot of stuff. Today we're touring their injection plant and their fuel pump plant. They build and repair fuel injectors and pumps for the biggest equipment in the world and a lot of the coolest trucks in the world, just like your first gen Cummins, all the way up to 6.7, 5.9, whatever you want. Like, they do it all. So let's get started. What's up, boss?
Hey,
It's good to see you again. This is Cody. He's one of 3 owners here at Industrial Injection, and he runs the fuel shop here. Cody, how long have you guys been here? This building's got to be at least 80 years old.
It's about 80 years old, but
Yeah.
you know, we've been in here since 1985.
Since I've been born.
I mean, I've been working here pretty much my whole life.
Yeah.
You know, Dad loaded up the Nissan pickup truck with us 3 boys and brought us up here, and we cleaned the shop, and they've actually progressed into tearing down components and him teaching us how to rebuild.
So in this shop, your whole life,
absolutely.
basically.
Well, we started down the street,
Yeah.
actually. It's about 5 buildings down.
Really?
And then we moved that shop to this shop.
And what are you doing here, mainly?
Fuel injection systems on diesel applications. So anywhere from ag and industrial to light duty pickup truck, anything diesel we work on.
How many injectors do you guys do, like, let's say a month?
That's a loaded question. You know, just in like the light duty 5.9 liter Rams and Duramax, Ford Hueys, and the heavy duty Caterpillars, Detroit Cummins ISX, X15 applications. I mean, it's unlimited, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I can say we do 4,000, 5,000 injectors a month, you know, between all this stuff, right?
It's a lot.
I mean, I'll show you. Come take a look.
Yeah.
Every room that you're going to see here has its purpose. This room right here, this is like all the older shim type injectors, mechanical injectors, and there's numerous applications. We install new nozzles, we remanufacture, we set pop-off pressures in tons of different applications. So these mechanical injectors, the nozzle valve itself will pop off at a certain PSI or bar pressure. And so we're installing a new nozzle, we're restoring the part that fails, which is the nozzle. And then each one of them has a pop-off pressure that we have to set. And this particular injector probably pops off at, you know, 300 bar, 290 bar. And so that's what he's setting. There's a shim underneath the spring that sets that spring tension, so that valve pops off at the correct pressure.
And this stuff's going in what exactly?
Those particular injectors go into 24 valve Cummins.
Okay.
That fits like a 99 to 02.
That happens
Dodge
to be my
pickup truck.
favorite because it's in my price range. But
Yeah, I mean, a lot of young kids are buying these vehicles,
Yeah.
and they're restoring them and putting
Yeah.
a lot of money and time into them. You know, you got to have all the right size fuel line, the pop-off pressure.
Is this
pop
a system
testers.
that you guys had to come up with on your own? Like all this equipment, I see, I mean, it's obviously got your brand on it, but is this something
You know,
had
a lot
to-
of fuel shops, these pop testers are on the market. You can buy it, but one thing is for sure, you have to have this type of equipment to set these injectors up for success.
All right, I'm cool. Metallica, my favorite band.
So in this room, we do a lot of our ag and industrial, smaller type pumps, your rotary pumps, your VE style pumps that you find like on the 88 through 93 Dodge pickup trucks. Intercooled, non-intercooled. We even do like John Deere tractor pumps, case tractor pump, you name it. You know, they could be on generators, they can be on tractors, they can be on numerous applications. But yeah, we're highly trained and factory authorized to build these pumps and restore them back to their original state. Once we tear them down, build them, put the right components in them, then we have to take them to a dyno machine. We call it test bench.
Yeah.
And this will spin it to the right RPMs. It will feed it with the correct fuel supply, and then we have to take fuel draws and set up RPMs with the correct fuel draws based on the test sheet that we get from the factory.
Now, without you guys, a lot of these equipment or older trucks would just be off the road.
Yeah. I mean, and no one wants to give up their tractor, right? I mean,
Yeah.
they're using them every day. even though they're 50 years old, 40 years old, whatever, someone needs to service them. Instead of you going to the dealer and buying this overpriced pump, we have an alternative solution, and we're a factory authorized. So we're putting OE parts and calibrating to OE specs for our customers, and it's been highly successful because people trust us. We have a lot of tools that are in toolboxes and cases and kits, right, that we use for specific pumps. And these are just some of the tools that we use to set up the pump, check dimensions, set dimensions. Some of these pumps are electronic, and so we have drivers that connect to our test stand, and now we're dealing with electronics now, right?
Yeah.
So you got pulses and solenoids and timing sensors, holograph sensors.
That obviously complicates things from the more mechanical pumps.
Unless you're, I mean, once you're trained, it's kind of easy, right?
Really?
So we go to like a authorized factory training, and we send our techs out, and they're trained by the factory, and then they come back here and instill that into our business so we can rebuild newer applications and stay up on technology.
That's cool.
This room is our VP44 land. So these pumps you'll find like on your 1999 Dodges through 2002 model years. They're electronic pumps. They got a computer. They're called PSGs in German terms, but they're basically pump computers. And when we rebuild these pumps, you know, not only are we tearing it down to its core, replacing all the wear items and updating them with updated parts from the factory. You know, when they come out with an update, we instill that in, or put that into our builds. Now we're dealing with computers, so we're doing computer repair. We're replacing, you know, new computers if need be. You know, we put these on the test stand. They go through multiple maps, right? Pulse width, different RPMs. Once everything's set, then we're actually programming those fuel maps into the computer. And then we're going back and checking verification to make sure that these pumps actually pass factory standards.
So these are all the ones that he's already done, or?
Nope, these are ready to tear down. These are just cores.
Okay.
And you know, we'll go through, we'll scan the computer, you know, we'll pull all the trouble codes up, and then we're sorting them. Well, these ones need all computers. These ones have updated computers on them that we might be able to use with some minor repairs, stuff like that. But you know, most of them get new computers, and we actually do VP30s, which is a version that goes on like the mid-range style pumps and like a John Deere tractor.
Yeah.
So it's not just Dodge, Ram, Pacific. These actually fit industrial and agricultural machines as well.
Is the computer most of the time the problem, or like where's
no,
the
I mean, the computer
point?
is a major problem. That's why we replaced
Most of
them, yeah. But there's actual parts in here like a diaphragm or a timing piston that wears out. You know, we have a machine shop, so we can actually go in here and machine the housing, put new sleeves in it for the timing piston, resurface for feed pumps, that type of thing. The shafts are a holograph, so it's basically like a cam sensor in an engine. These pumps have its own cam sensor. It's called an IAT, increment angle and temperature sensor. It acts as a cam sensor inside the pump. So it reads like a nickel tooth wheel, and it finds its firing order reading off the holographs of the shaft.
That's cool.
So yeah, these guys do a bang-up job. We do a lot of these pumps. We've been doing them for years. We kind of have a reputation in the market of having the premium pump.
I like that the guys are working on kind of the same pump over and over again, so they know these pumps inside and out.
Inside and out, yeah. And there's been some challenges with some parts availability or discontinued parts that they reintroduced into the market.
Or Yankees fans.
Yankees fans.
Yeah, there's been some challenges there.
I mean, you ever trust a Yankees fan to build your pump? Come on.
These are all the parts that come out of that pump.
If you look at that, we actually, as you can see, we tear the pump down to its core and inspect every component in the pump, and we restore this 100% back to its original state.
That's cool. So that's just the shell of it and all the parts right
there. That's
there.
the housing that houses all the parts inside and the rotating assemblies.
Minus.
This is the computer on the pump, right? And so that sits there. You can see this is the cam sensor of the pump. It's an increment angle temperature sensor. This is the holograph sensor. This is a timing sensor that you know, it it moves the timing piston where it needs to be, so the pump's always in time. And this is the feeling solenoid. It's a pulsing solenoid, and it opens the valve and closes the valve. And it gets all of its command from the computer and the engine sensors on the engine. So this is a smart pump, right?
That's cool.
Yeah. Cool. Scroll in on here, you can see like this pump core come off an engine, and you can see what today's fuel does to a pump. See all the residue and the lacquer and
junk.
Like that type of fuel does this to your internals of your fuel injection pump and your injectors.
So what do you do to?
And so that's why it fails.
Yeah.
So we
What do
bring
you
it
do
in.
with today's fuel to offset that, or?
Our fuel additive that we sell here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's key. If you own a diesel, you should always be running a fuel additive, because you never know. Most fuel you get at the pumps is, it's probably decent fuel, but it's always that time where you get the bad fuel and it's going to cost you money.
Okay.
And this is the results of that.
Well, that's good to see. A lot of guys just trust the fuel that they get at the pump, and they don't do anything about it.
We're a fuel injection remanufacturer. We know if someone's been running fuel additive and the people that don't.
You're like the dentist that knows whether or not the guy's been flossing.
Yeah, they say you flossed, but we can tell you haven't been flossing, right?
So run your fuel additive. Industrial Injection has it. We'll include a link below.
That's right. Change your fuel filters. So this room, these are some of our bigger pumps, and they're found on ag and industrial mostly. We specialize in it. We've been doing this for years. So this particular pump, it's an EDC pump. It's basically a P pump that has an electronic governor. So all the governing of this fuel system is based on computers as well, right? Find these on a lot of John Deeres.
I was gonna say it's green.
Yeah.
Big combine tractors in the field. These are your farmers that are producing potatoes and any crop you can think of. Like a lot of these are out in the fields.
How old is this pump right here?
Oh, what do you think, Dale? How old is this?
90s probably.
Yeah,
90s.
1990s.
And that's sent to you from a customer, or are you just doing them
Sent from a customer.
sent from a customer?
Yep, these are sent in from a customer,
So a farmer.
a farmer. And
Yeah.
there's not a lot of fuel shops that specialize in these. You can find a handful across the nation that does these, but we're really good at them. We've been doing them because we have a lot of ag and industrial customers throughout the Northwest region here. Idaho, Utah, Wyoming. The pump to the left here is a PT pump. These pumps are found on applications anywhere from the 1940s all the way up to like the 90s.
Really?
And
That's
they
a
have
wide
a
variety.
lot of different variations of this. There are some that have electronics on them. There's updated models all the way up to some of the Cummins Selects.
I'd imagine you keep a lot of your employees for quite a while.
Yeah, I mean, we have people here that have been working here for 38 years.
Yeah.
We've had 2 employees that have retired just because they reached a retirement age.
Yeah.
Dale, how long you been working here?
Starting on 22 years.
22 years. So these guys have a lot of experience. They have a lot of training, and there's a reason why people trust us, because we know how to do it, and they have success. They don't have to go buy 4 different pumps off eBay or Amazon or
To try and get it work.
and figure out, hey, we need a specialist here.
That's cool. That's kind of what I was getting at. Is it takes a long time to get to know this type of equipment. After 22 years of working on pumps, you get to know what you're doing. So
Yeah, that's
I
right.
Appreciate that.
So yeah, some of these are the older systems, all the way up to newer applications. And if you come over here, this is one of our technicians, Colby. He specializes in building a P7100 pump for the Dodge pickup application. And there's some that fit like some mid-range applications, or some DT 466 applications in the internationals. But yeah, he specializes in building stock replacement pumps for the 94 to 98 Dodge or 97 Dodges. He specializes in building performance pumps too. So if someone wants a sled puller or a drag racing pickup truck, like
You just want to impress your girlfriend,
you want to replace,
and you end up just impressing your friends, and your girlfriend
That's
doesn't
right,
know
man.
what
You
you're
want to
talking
roll some
about.
forces. And
Yeah. You've been through a divorce, and you just need something to make you smile.
that's exactly right. So yeah, you can see in the same rebuild room here, our technicians work on Caterpillar pumps.
That's
And
cool.
There's a lot of these that still come out of you know, the fields or over the road trucks, and we rebuild a lot of these. We always have about 4 to 5 of these in the shop at all times, and it's amazing how people just keep running these machines, right? And this pump is, I mean, look at the size of that fuel injection pump. That's the same size as, you know, a small engine, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say it looks like a small engine, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, look at that bad boy. So we do have a Caterpillar specialist. He knows how to rebuild all mechanical Caterpillar fuel injection pumps, which you don't see anymore. Like, I mean, these style pumps, you had people back in the day rebuilding these in their garages or their sheds or where they store their equipment, right? And most Caterpillar dealers don't even rebuild these anymore.
They just tell you that.
A lot of our, like some of our techs come right from Caterpillar, and then they've trained the next generation everything they knew on these, and so it just continues. You know, we have to have someone doing it because they keep coming through the door. You can always tell what a Caterpillar pump is because they're always yellow.
Yeah.
And they're always big and bulky.
Yeah.
This is our technician, Jason, here. He's been working here how many years, Jason?
38 years.
38 years. He's our master technician. He trains a lot of these guys, this next generation, you know, everything he knows, and which is a lot. Like, you can't even put that, it's worth his weight in gold right here. He knows everything about fuel injection systems.
Where'd you start?
Here.
Here.
Really? His dad hired me out of high school,
What high school?
Hillcrest High School.
Really? Local guy, right out of high school, been here 38 years.
38 years.
So basically as long as this building?
Oh, and
When I started, we were in a building, a few buildings
Yeah.
down. So.
That's cool. Yeah. Well, thank you, Jason.
yeah, thank you. So this is one of our test rooms. You can see these are some older machines that run like the Rotary style pumps and the P pump inline style PCA100 pumps. So these will actually simulate engine operation. So when we put the pump on here, these are designed to turn to the correct RPMs the pump would be turning out on the engine. You can see the graduated cylinders here. We have the meters up here saying, you know, what RPM they're turning at. We have a fuel supply, a fuel return, and on some pumps we even use an oil supply for lubrication, right? So when we have that, we print out the test spec sheet of the manufacturer. We have to set that pump to, you know, perfect, right on the dot factory specs. And so these are the machines that we use to do that and to take fuel draws. And so this is for like the smaller rotary style pumps. And this machine over here, so this has a bigger motor. It has the oil feed, fuel return, the RPM meter, the count draw, so you can set it up for, hey, at 500 counts, we want X amount of cc's to be measured out of each fuel injector line, right? Pumping element of the pump. This is a whole setup to where we can put these pumps right on the dock. So in this room, you can see all the fuel lines that we have hanging on the wall, and there's countless fuel lines. Every pump has to have the specific size of fuel line for factory specs, right? So we have all the fuel lines, we got some tools, we got some electronic meter tools, we got specialized tools like this where you can install it in the pump and you know, use that. So there is a lot of specialty tools, anywhere from oscilloscope, a lot of different fittings, electronics, dial gauges. I mean, that's a special tool right there in itself, right? So there's a lot of different tools that we're using. These are just simulators.
Yeah.
This specific machine right here, this has heat exchangers on it. So it not only gives you the RPMs and fuel supplies and returns and stuff like that, it actually builds temperature as well, so we can test pumps under correct temperatures.
Cool.
And that's really key for like electronics, right? Electronics do not like heat.
Cool.
So
I didn't think about the heat aspect of it.
the heat aspect is huge on electronic style pumps. And then they have the computers to where we can program computers as well. And so we got 2 of those machines. We got the old beast over here, and this is set up for Caterpillar style pumps. We use this specifically for Caterpillars. Your 3406, your 3208, This is an old machine. This is probably our oldest machine in the shop. It's an old back rack, right? Back rack specialized in this older system, so the Cummins PTs, rotary pumps, and bigger, style Caterpillar pumps.
Do you find that like you have to have this old machine to work on the older pumps?
There's some newer updates to this machine, but this one works really well for what we do. And it's been in service a long time. It's
cool.
The old machine you can trust, right?
Yeah, no, I like that.
Newer doesn't always mean better.
No, usually doesn't. This is the dirty room. It's kind of dirty, so, may or may not show this, but if you're at home, this is where the magic happens. So what are they doing in there?
They're just tearing down components and cleaning them in ultrasonic cleaners. All the mess is left in here.
Yeah.
They tear everything down and they bin them out and they put them in the ultrasonic cleaners and get all the grime and dirt and rust and all the shit off. These are already clean, but they need to be beautified, right?
Yes.
And certified. So some of these have like crack housings or eroded seat areas. So they'll go through each one of them. They'll put them on a buffer and make them look shiny and look for cracks at the same time.
This is what they look like coming out?
Yeah, so these are actually really rusty. These are Duramax bodies out of like a LBZ, LM style truck. And these are exposed to a lot of weather elements. And so when we get the cores in, they are rusty. And so this is what it looks like when it comes right out of like our ultrasonic cleaners. And it strips all the stuff out of them because we use like decalcifiers in our solutions to get them stripped to this point. And then we'll go through and prep the bodies to where they're not only certified and look for flaws, but then they're
they look
buffed and they look shiny before we take them to the build room.
They obviously came to you for a reason.
Oh,
they're broken.
These are all felled injectors.
Yeah.
Once they get out of that room, we bin these out, and then we'll take the bin, once they're certified, we'll take them into the builders with all the components to build them, right? And so each builder will build batches and boxes like this. And so yeah, I'll show you that process in here.
What'd you say earlier? 3,000-4,000 a month?
Yeah.
Yeah. To do that many a month, I'm just like thinking about like how many is just like.
How many trucks is that reasonable?
Yeah. The math on that's above my brainwaves.
So you notice we walked into an enclosed room.
Yeah.
So this room is it's pressurized. It's filtered, it's climate controlled,
and it's quieter. I appreciate
a
that.
A lot quieter, right? And so we have a lot going on here. It kind of looks like chaos, but it all makes sense to us. So each builder has their own Bosch build station. Each station will build 32 injectors a day. This is a Bosch station that we ordered from Bosch after we were factory trained and authorized to do so. So you have air pneumatic systems like these Bosch boxes right here. These are air pneumatics to where this will actually hook up to a specialized tool to where when we put this on the injector and adapt it, we'll activate these and it will actually move the valve like it would when the injector is firing. And then we measure the valve so we can shim them properly, right? This is a high dollar specialty tool to do our job. These are very expensive torque wrenches from Bosch, right? They don't really torque into inches or foot-pounds, they torque in angles. So the angle has to be right on the torque wrench.
How many shops are you think that have the capability of doing that?
Authorized common rail Bosch shops, there's probably, I wouldn't want to say, but I would say you can count them on two hands. There's a lot of people that do common rail, but they're using aftermarket. Who knows if they're doing them right or wrong. We started out because Bosch didn't have an authorized system at the time we started common rail. And we learned a lot of things just by going to factory school. The tools you need, the step-by-step process to building a correct Bosch injector, and the components availability. You have to be a Bosch authorized dealer to actually get access to buy the OE nozzles, control valves, solenoids, that type of thing. So yeah, we bought fully into the system when it was offered to us, and we learned a lot of things we didn't know. And we've been doing this for years. We've been doing it longer than any shop out there.
And where are these injectors going?
So once we rebuild them, they go to our warehouse and they're shipped all over the nation, even into Canada and South America, and we have some customers in Europe.
Oh, cool.
This is just where we build the injector itself. Once it's fully built, then we have to certify them on Bosch test benches. And I'll show you that as well next.
You got everything from 6, 7 5.9, Duramax, everything.
Everything, right? And we even do like some industrial and ag applications as well that are they're really similar to these. They're just different dimensions, different sizes. This setup here is our AFM machine. We use it for a lot of different reasons. It's mostly used for nozzles for us, making sure that they're honed and balanced to the factory spec that we need it to. Some suppliers, they don't pay as much attention to products such as Bosch. Like Bosch is the flagship. We get a component out of a box, we know it's right, but there's some applications that are even OE that they have variations in their products, and this allows us to really balance those to where they're perfect before we even start a build. So the AFM machine is very key.
What is AFM?
Well, so this is an extrude hone, right?
Yeah.
So if you come over here, this is the kind of media that we push through this small nozzle, such as this, right?
Oh, wow.
And there's, believe it or not, there's like 6 holes, all the way up to like 8 or 10 holes in these things, right? And sometimes these are not balanced. They might be off by 1 liter per minute. You know, just minute little things that will cause our calibration process to not be as accurate the first time we run them, right?
So that's what this machine's doing, is pushing that.
It pushes this silly putty media, and I say silly putty, it's not silly putty.
I'm like,
You smell it, you feel it, it's silly putty, right?
Yeah.
But there's abrasives in there that will, you know, it widens and polishes, you know, rough edges and hole dimensions to where we balance these things perfectly before we start.
That's cool.
And so there's a lot of need for this in what we do in our processes. So we've invested a lot of money into this AFM machine.
I know my ears are bad, but my eyes are good. Seeing those small holes and seeing that silly putty, that's amazing that you can push that through there.
Yeah, he's running one right now. Well, you can see the silly putty. And the AFM machine really lets us set up our own specs. It's all computer driven. We can extrude on up to higher pressures and duty cycles.
I wonder what he's listening to.
Probably stick figure.
I like that. Dude, I've graduated from the 90s listening to Metallica to a little bit more, calm, stick figure. So
That's right. Elevator,
yeah.
Revolution, yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
He's Mr. Reggae over here.
Hey, what's up?
Can we jump in here for a
Yeah,
sec?
bro.
Hey, just wondering though, Brian, what are you listening to?
Stick figure.
I told you. So these are our certifying Bosch OE, Bosch 815 stands where we calibrate. These are our production stands. Each machine will run 4 injectors at a time, and this will simulate not only pulse width, pressures, RPM based, emission standards, shot to shot, everything to do with that injector under extreme conditions, heat, cooling, the whole bit. So these are actual dynamometers that we use for our injectors, and these are made by Bosch, and this is what we are trained on at Bosch. You can see it's going through the field deliveries. How many steps are there, Brian?
Right now, let's see, we're doing 504, so they're on their last step on number 16.
And so it's measuring field delivery at 16 different test points, including emissions, shot to shot. It generates trim coding. So when you put these injectors in a truck, now you have to, like on the later technology, you have to enter a field trim code in the computer so it balances these injectors out, right? Smooth idles, fuel mileage, economy, and maximum horsepower, right? This machine does it all.
That's cool.
And it goes through each injector. This measures return fuel and fuel delivery. And they have to be 100% stable. And then once we generate the test, we figure out which ones passed, which ones fell. Even though you build a perfect injector in a clean room, sometimes you bring it out here and one fell slightly, or you might have a cracked body, or something that we didn't catch through our certifying process to use a component. We'll find it on here. So this is like the end of the line testing that lets us have confidence, and our customers have confidence in our product. That has to be done on a machine like this.
So even if you think it's good, your builders have, sent it on to this process, you're still surprised that some of them are bad.
I would say we probably have about a 92% success rate
From the builder
from
to
the
here.
builder to here,
But
but it does catch those little problems that we don't
cool.
want out in customers' trucks
yeah,
or in the field, right?
a lot of people would just send them out from the builder, but
Yeah.
testing them guarantees that you got a good product. That's
Yeah,
cool.
and it's just small little things that will cause a problem. Maybe it's a little white smoke at idle, or a missing problem, or a surge, fuel knock, you know, whatever the scenario is, this will catch it. The injectors that pass go to a certain area for serialization and packaging, and the ones that fail go back into the build room, and they understand based on the test specs what's going on. So they'll either fix the problem or they'll scrap the injector.
Yeah.
Might be a cracked body, so we throw the body away, put a new body in it, harvest the parts, comes back to testing again.
Cool.
This is our packaging process here. The finished components come here for serialization. So he's serializing the injector right
Wow.
here.
All right.
Each injector has its own unique serial number. And in some cases, like the injector he's doing now, has trim coating. We'll laser engrave the trim coating number on the injector. And then you'll also get a tag that we attach for the guys to pull the tag off and to keep their shop organized while they install the injector. It's either you write it down or you pull the tag, you know what cylinder it goes in, so you can program the computer with the trim code.
And this is your finished, wrapped, ready to go.
Those are ready to go down to our warehouse where they warehouse and distribute.
That's cool.
These are a bunch of CP3 pumps. You'll see that area in just a second. This is our common rail shop, and let's go check out our heavy duty shop.
Let's go. What's your daily driver? And if it's a car, I won't show it.
It's a 19 Cubbins over here at Ram.
It's nice.
My white dually. Gotta have a dually, you know, you pull on your fifth wheel, so like, once you go dually, you'll never go back.
Yeah, if you're pulling
That's
a
right.
lot, you have to have it.
I never thought I would like a dually, you know, it's the size of it, the drive-throughs,
Yeah.
getting around parking lots, like,
You probably save a little weight because it deters you from the drive-thrus.
right? That's not really working out for me.
Or you're just on the curb.
It's not lifted. It's got some cool wheels on it, and it just tows.
Yeah, you made it look nice, but you didn't make it impractical.
Yeah.
That's what I appreciate.
Yeah. This is Randall. He runs our heavy duty shop. He's the controller here. He's in charge of ordering all the parts, inventories, research and development, that type of thing.
Cool.
Everything we do here, we'll have a dirty room where we keep the mess in, and then we go into a cleaner room that we assemble the product, right?
Cool.
So this is the dirty room. Once again, ultrasonic cleaning. We got a bead blast machine. This is for like the external parts of a pump or injector. We can clean the external parts. The soda blaster, you can use it for internals of a pump or injector. Soda is really cool because it cleans. It's not as aggressive as a bead blaster, but as soon as water touches soda, it dissolves.
Really?
So you don't get all the grime or the harsh material of a glass bead inside the component.
And you just stick your hand, can you be careful?
You stick your hands right in there.
Oh, yeah. Pick up your machine and just blast them.
Yeah, the soda blaster,
I like that.
very crucial for what we do. So this is where the magic's done for our heavy duty department. So the pumps that you saw were at our serialization station. This is where they're assembled. We do anything from, you know, your 5.9 Cummins, your 6.7 Cummins, your Delphi L5P pumps, your K16 Ford pumps that fit the 6.4 liter applications, even up to heavy duty like the Detroit 8015s and the X15 style pumps. We're doing those now too. Each person has their build station. Each station builds about 6 to 10 pumps a day. So yeah, these are a big demand.
They're spitting one out every 45 minutes?
Yeah, we offer
cool.
the very best CP3 remanufactured pump on the market. Not only are we using Bosch OE parts, you know, when these pump cores come in and say they have like a bad plunger, pumping element inside the pump, our machine shop actually makes new pumping elements. They're DLC coated. We air gauge fit them in to the pumps to restore that pump. So you're never going to get a half worn out pump. It's always going to be a perfectly balanced flowing pump. to OE specs.
Like new, yeah.
We build our high performance pumps, our 10 strokers, our 12 strokers, our XP style pumps.
So they cleaned all the parts in that spot.
Yep.
And then they come over here,
Yep.
and he's just building. Right now, he's he's got like 4 pumps in front of him.
Yeah, he looks like he's got about 4 pumps there, and those are 5.9 liter pumps, or are they Duramax? No, those are 5.9 liter CP3 pumps here. So each pump will,
That's cool. He goes through each one step by step.
Step by step,
Yeah.
And then we put those on a test bench as well, and they have to flow exact specs before they leave our shop.
Cool. What's the main reason these go bad?
The main reason why CP3 pumps go bad is excessive mileage or fuel contamination. It's one of the two, and we see every scenario in here. Just like I was talking to you about fuel additive, these are prominent as well. They're not immune from, harsh materials that are in fuel. All fuel has water in it. At certain points, you're going to get some dirty fuel. It could be dirt, could be water, could be aspartame, it could be sludge, it could be whatever, depending on what part of the country you're in, right? But one thing is common, it's not if, it's when you're going to get some bad fuel through your system. On the newer trucks that have like DEF systems, how many times do you hear of someone putting DEF in the fuel, right? We see that all the time.
I did that once.
So it's a lot more common.
A lot more common.
I did that
I've done
once.
it myself.
And if you do not start your truck.
Don't even turn the key on.
You're dropping your fuel tank, and you're dropping your injector, and you're cleaning everything.
Everything.
Yeah.
And sometimes, depending on what truck you drive, sometimes when you just turn the key on,
That's
has an
enough.
electric lift pump, and it
Boom.
sends it to the fuel system, right? So
Yeah.
be careful. If you get DEF in your system, do not turn your key on. Call a professional like ourselves.
Tow it.
We have a technical support that will tell you how to get that truck safely towed to a shop like ours to get it fixed with minimal downsize and expenses out of your pocket.
I honestly had one of those big boxes of DEF, and it was winter, so I was cold, and it was at night, and I was just putting it in. And I'm like, okay. And I look down, and I'm like, oh no!
Right?
I'm in the fuel hole. Is a
Wrong
Ram
hole,
truck.
right?
Yeah.
Sometimes men have a problem with that wrong hole.
And it happens at night, and in the dark.
We're talking heavy duty. This is what we mostly do here. We do some high pressure pump, but what I want to show you is the heavy duty injector. These are EUIs. We do Caterpillar here. We do Cummins. We do Detroit. This is a 6-pack that we're working on. This is a 10R8502 found in like a 6NZ Caterpillar 3406 C15 model. We offer premium rebuilds. Every component's replaced. We finally found a brand new solenoid that compares to an OE, right? So every injector gets a brand new solenoid on it, electronics, new nozzles, and they're calibrated, and we trim code here as well.
That's cool.
So a lot of people can maybe build these, but a lot of people cannot trim code. That separates us from our competition or whoever else is out there rebuilding these. This is called the Lap Master. So this will actually put a mirror finish on components such as tappet, spacers, control valves, and injector bodies, because that's a huge problem with like the Caterpillar, Detroit, basically any injector that has flat surfaces and they have erosion that develops after time on components. The Lap Master here allows us to put that mirror finish back on products to where, it's really comparable to a brand new CAT injector.
Is that just water? Is that a solution?
It's a solution with an abrasive.
That's cool. I keep on saying that's cool. So if you can count how many times I've said it and accurately comment, I might send you something.
This is a weight, right? And it has a foam padding, and we really put pressure down on this, okay? So you can see this is starting to lap a tappet off.
Yeah.
And it's not done yet. It has to go for a certain amount of time, but when we're done, this tappet will be 100% flat with a mirror finish on it. And we do this with all of our internal components of a Caterpillar injector.
That's cool.
And they have to be balanced. This is Connor. He's one of our lead techs. Well, actually, he does a lot of R&D, research and development, even on new products and stuff like that. But he is really good. He's a perfectionist, meticulous with everything he does. And he's the one that's caught a lot of these problems with like aftermarket parts that, you know, we've looked at. And he's a big part of our certification. Like, hey, we will use this component if it passes our standards, right? Here's a tappet that you just saw on the Lab Master.
That's done.
And so you can see all the wear that's been taken out of this. This is like a mirror finish, completely flat. We do our bodies, our control valves, our nozzles, everything. Even on some new components, we'll resurface them. He'll restore it back to the original state. Like this is the control valve here. The solenoid sits on top. This is the activation valve. It's a magneto. It controls the control valve here. So that has to be set in perfect dimensions using gauging. You know, this is a gauge here that he uses, and we check the air gaps. Everything has to be set to certain dimensions. There's a lot of these little tools to build this one injector.
Connor, you don't look all that old. How long have you been doing this?
Not too long. I've been here just a little over a year now.
He's learned a lot.
It's more of a personality trait, I'd imagine. That
he geeks out on this stuff.
How
And he'll come to
clean
work
you
and be
keep
like,
things.
"Ha, I figured this out last night." You know.
the stuff I figure out at night, and yeah, it's not as useful.
This is a set of Detroit Series 60 injectors. You know, customer will send them in for repair. We'll tear them down. We'll rebuild them for the customer. And we also offer exchanges, so we'll build a bunch of them up and put them on the shelf so we can distribute them. If someone needs them exchanged, they call up, we can ship them immediately. We take in walk-in jobs as well. We have a lot of local customers that will send us a set, and we'll rebuild them for them.
This is how most of your stuff looks when it comes in.
This is how it comes in, and so yeah, we'll take these in. We'll check them in through our admin system, which every station has a laptop. We'll check them in the station. We'll take them in there, tear them down. After they're all cleaned up and binned out, we'll bring them back and set them up on the bench and start going through them.
So he's reassembling right now, or?
So you can see this set right here. So this one he's working on probably didn't pass this test stand. So he's going back through it and figuring out what the cause and effect is, right? He'll correct it. We'll go back to the test bench, and it doesn't leave here until it passes all tests.
That's cool. All right, well, thanks, Cody,
Yeah.
for showing us everything.
Thanks for stopping, guy. I love your content. Been following you for a while, and it's a great opportunity for you to come here and meet us and kind of show the world what we do here.
Vice versa, honestly. Really excited about this episode. And if you liked it, go like, go comment, go subscribe, go follow Industrial Injection. And like I said, thank you for your time.
Thank you, guys.